Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Adventures. My name is Flying Magpies and once again I'm here in my Minecraft realm to bring you, well, another episode. As you can see I have made a little bit of progress. I've built up the house around my meat stalls and I have actually bred the sheep and the cows up. I've managed to make quite a bit of profit. This is just one harvest, so 28 beef and 13 leathers, as well as 18 muttons and about nearly 20 wool from the one harvest. I have once again bred them up, so in a few minutes they should be ready to kill again with the larva. Just like that. At any rate, now that I've got a steady supply of leather with my cow and wool farm, my plans for today involve making an enchanting table, for which I need a stack of books, and as well as a blacksmith, so I can start smelting things a little bit more efficiently, although I'm not sure if I have an automatic farm yet, automatic furnaces yet, just lots of furnaces dotted around in a building. However, if I am going to make an enchanting table, I'm going to need a lot of paper, and unfortunately this sugarcane farm of sorts that have got dotted around this lake isn't quite going to cut it. So what I'm going to do first is start creating not an automatic sugarcane farm, but just a sugarcane farm that will supply my needs for the time being. So I'll get started on that and I'll check back with you when I have finished that. And there we have it, one completed sugarcane farm. I've got, I think it's 6 rows, 5 rows of water, so that's, I believe, 20 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So each row of water has 9, as 18 sugarcane, I should say. So that, I believe, that is 5 times 18 that's 180, I believe. So 180 pieces of sugarcane there, and that hopefully that should grow quite nicely. I believe my sheep are now done, so I'm going to go harvest them like that, and my cows are also done. And let's see exactly how much wool and mutton and leather and beef I get off them. So I had started with 18, and they're starting to flow in now. And 18 and 32. So 32 minus 18 is 14. So I had got 14 pieces of mutton there, not as much as the first time, but still a lot. And 50. So that's another 22 beef, and I think it's 10 or so leather. I can't quite remember how much I had at the start, but that is certainly a good start. And I'm sorry what happened there. Sorry about that random pause button, folks. My hand accidentally smashed my spacebar, which minimized my Minecraft window, so that is why that happened. Anyway, moving on from there, I'm going to start letting this grow, and I'm going to rebreed up my cows and sheep, because I need to keep those going so I can get their precious resources that are they're not rare, but I certainly need them at this stage, so I'll get doing that now. And earlier I did say that I had 180 pieces of sugarcane. It's not actually 185 times 18 is not 180, it's 90, so I have 90 pieces of sugarcane here, which is not as efficient as I hoped, but still, it's a good start. Anyhow, moving on from there, it's time for me to start work on the blacksmith. Now, I've been doing a bit of research since my last video on exactly what I'd like the blacksmith to look like, and I decided to go for one design I found in particular on the internet, which does involve a nice underground area. So this is what I'm building now. I'm just laying out some 4 posts that will hold up the roof. It's going to be slanted from down the low bit on here and the high bit here, so a slanted roof, like so. Whoops. And then the main building will be on this side. So under here is probably going to be some fire, and a few anvils and whatnot. So I'll keep on building that, and I'll check back with you when I am partway through that. And there we have it, one complete blacksmith. So I will give you a quick tour. So over here we have some fake coal storage. Then we have our furnaces over here, the anvil and a bucket of water on this side, a crafting bench. And then inside we have our 2 furnaces, one of them active with a fire, the cauldron inside it, and this one we have the hot coals signified by the magma there. At some point I will fill these cauldrons with some water and dye it so it looks like molten iron or whatever. And on the back you can see the black windows, black because it's all blackened by the smoke. And then on the outside we just have a standard roof, a little entryway roof, and that's just about it. And we can see the smokestacks just on the top. Once I get some cobwebs I will put those in the top so it does look like the thing is actually billowing smoke. Now while all that's been going, I've made just a single harvest of this sugarcane farm, and that's all gone to here, so I will take that out and start making it to paper so we can get started on the second part of this episode, which is making a crafting bench. Sorry, not a crafting bench, enchanting table. So turn that all into paper and get all the leather from here, and I believe that turns into 59 books, which isn't quite enough, I believe, but we'll see. And one very important thing I'm going to have to do before I make that enchanting table is actually get some obsidian. So I'm going to have to make myself a diamond pickaxe. These are actually my first diamonds that I'm using in this season. So I'm going to quickly hop into the nether and get the 4 obsidian blocks from the corners of the nether portal on the nether side. So as you can see, there's one up here, and I forget just exactly how slow this is. Oh no, there's a ghast. I'm going to have to quickly jump straight back into the overworld and get my bow. Well, thankfully I survived my battle with the ghast. I also had to battle a very, very large magma cube, as you can see by the magma cube that's on the ground there. But thankfully I've managed to fight them all off. I haven't died, although I got quite close. So now I can finish off mining this obsidian in peace. And there we go. I've now got my enchanting table, and I'm going to now decide on a nice place to put it. I'm still going to leave this for my future project, which is going to be a storage system. It's going to go down into the ground and across into different areas of this town. But I reckon a good place for this enchanting table will be... how about I put it over here, next to my sleeping house. So firstly I'll get my 19 bookshelves and start placing them in the area I need. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, corner, and enchanting table in the center. And then to do that again. Now I'm not exactly sure if I actually need all of these, but it never hurt to have more than I actually need. And there we go. So it's now fully completed, and I'm going to start decorating this, which isn't going to take the rest of the episode. So I'm going to start thinking of some new things to put into the rest of this episode, and I'll check back with you when I've got that. Well, it turns out I actually wanted the house to look a little bit taller, so I've now since added another row of bookshelves all the way around, even though I don't need it, and I've constructed the house around it. So now I'm going to work on the next part of my plans for today. Anyway, moving on from those two buildings, my plan for the next part of this episode is to start construction of a river. So I'm planning for the river to start from around here and come through here. It's not going to go up, it's just going to be at the same level. So curve round through here, and then following my cursor it's going to go round and probably go straight near that forest. So it's going to snake through the middle of what my town over here is going to be, and yeah, so I'll get started on that. And there we have it. After a couple of hours work, I've made a start on the river. I've also decorated the outside of it with a bit of gravel and sand and sugarcane with a bit of string on top to make sure that the sugarcane doesn't grow. Obviously the river isn't complete. That's going to take quite a little bit longer, probably 4 to 5, maybe 6 episodes as I slowly make around. So I'll probably do most of that off camera, and eventually that'll end up over here. There's a lake or a river over here, so that this river that I'm creating will end up over there somewhere as it snakes around, and so on. Moving on from the river, my next project for today's episode is to start work on my storage system. So I generally put these underground, and I'm going to do the same for today's episode and season. So I'm going to start hollowing this out, and it's probably going to go quite a bit underground, as I want to have quite a bit of space. So the grass is going to remain the same on the top, but underground there's going to be tunnels going up in this direction, and when this reaches the level I want it, it's going to go off in this direction as well. Maybe, not sure in this direction, but it's just going to be one big loop all the way around all the way underground. So I'll keep working on that, and but I'm still not quite sure what level I want this to go at, so I might just keep hollowing down and see where I go from there. And obviously I'm going to keep decorating. I'm going to decorate this so it does look a little bit neater than it currently does. What I might also do is create a bit of a cave-like system, so from here there will be a slanting roof that slants upwards, and so it looks like the entrance to a cave or something. And one thing I do have to watch is that I did cover up some of those pools you probably noticed in some of the earlier episodes, so I am going to have to go duck in and fill all these up with dirt, or with some block that I can easily get out, and then remine it up again, which is a pain, but oh well, has to be done. Now, I've popped over into my creative world so I can test out a couple of things. First, mostly I need to test exactly how high I need the roof if I want to build the storage system that I do. So what I'm going to do now is build up a mini system of what I'm trying to do, and I'm going to get back, and so that involves putting hoppers in all of these, not there, shifting across, so that's all done. Then I need to build a hopper line 2 across, so let's go up 2 higher than that, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so that's, put one there, put myself down here and shift that across. That's not quite where I want it, but let's keep going. So there we go, so that's the hopper line. And so back here we're going to have, we need to have not glass, we need to have a hopper facing in, so let's put a hopper there, and then shift click a hopper into there, and that needs to remain the same across there, so that needs to have a random block. Let's have wood there, so that goes like that, and then okay, no, that's not going to work. Never mind, I'm going to have to come back and fix it up. Okay, now I've finished that, so it needs to be at least, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 blocks tall in the main world, and then a 6th one if I want a chest. Although that said, I could probably put an item elevator up here, although those are rather slow. So, if you want to have a look at it, this is how the slide views, so the items will come along through here. So I'll put some repeaters in. So those repeaters will travel along until they hit this hopper. They will start dropping in. This will detect that it's got items in it, and it will unpower this redstone torch, meaning that it will allow them to drop through here. Although I'd need to gonna have a test if it can do something else. No, it can't, because it can only take, well, redstone torches and repeaters. So that will keep flooding through, and then it'll drop into chest number 1, chest number 2, chest number 3. And I don't anticipate ever needing more than 3 chests of things, although if I did, I could probably just go down, put another chest here, and put another hopper in here, and then the repeaters would flow into there. So that it is an expandable source, but now I'm going to need to build it, need to tunnel out a space in the main world, and let's see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks deep. So that means if I'm going to have a 4 wide, let me see, let's see, so the chest will be there. This will be the, so over here will be the I'm sorry, I'm lost for words at the moment. So 1, 2, 3, 4, that is the main path. Then you have the chests there, so I'm going to need to tunnel out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 wide hole. So that's going to be an 18 wide tunnel in all directions, which is quite an achievement, but it's going to take a lot of work and obviously not going to be finished in this episode. And another thing I'm going to need to note is that I'm actually going to need a lot of redstone. So there's a comparator, 3 redstone and a redstone repeater, as well as a torch, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hoppers minimum for each segment. So that is going to be quite expensive, and I don't have the iron, but I think I have the redstone. Probably not enough redstone as yet, but we'll see. So now counting to make sure it's going to be the right level. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that means the input chest would actually be at ground level. It'd be visible from ground level, which isn't too bad as the rest, but I think I should probably go down just 1 more level just to be safe. I'm not quite sure if this will actually help or hinder the project, but I think it's going to be better if I have it just 1 level lower. So I'll keep doing that, and I've just trapped myself here, haven't I? Because now that I'm here, I'm going to need to put a block here to get out. Yes. And as you can see, I have put a new roof over part of my storage tunnel. I'm not quite sure if I like how it looks, so I might change that out. At any rate, so I'm going to need to put another 5 blocks in each direction this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 in this direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's how far I need to dig in each direction just to get the redstone in. I'm not yet sure if I'm going to actually put the storage tunnel going on this direction, but I'll see. Bit of an update for you. I have started on the redstone for this part of the storage system. As you can see, the comparators, the redstone, the repeater, and the redstone torches. There would be the hoppers, except I am completely out of iron, so I'm going to have to work on that in the future, probably by making an iron farm, because I do have the resources to start making one of those. As you can also see, I put in some nether bricks, and I'm going to put in that just at the corner. So those are just placeholders as I begin to work out the exact design of how I want this. I've also started a tunnel in this direction, and I'm going to start a tunnel in this direction. So this will go off in a giant square or rectangle. I'm not exactly sure if I want this here. I might put it in the segment over beyond where the nether bricks would go over here. So once I start tunneling in that direction, I shall probably remove this. You can also see I've put in some of the wood staircases upside down, and I'll probably put some of the the item frames just above them to indicate what item goes in each, because each column of chests fills 1 item. So this would be all dirt, for instance, and this would be all sand, and so on. One thing I forgot to mention in my earlier video is that this design is completely infinitely expandable, so I could have it going off as long as I like, and it can curve round, I assume, and curve round. So this line will be in the outside, it'll curve all the way round, and then it'll cross into the middle and do the same thing on the inside. So it's going to be a long project, but hopefully it just stores all the items that I need. And I believe that's all I've got time for today. So let's have a look at what we've managed to do today. We've started out on our storage tunnels. We have managed to get ourselves a fully done up enchanting room, although we haven't actually enchanted anything yet. And we've probably the biggest accomplishment of today, we finished off our blacksmith. Now obviously it's not a fully automated blacksmith. You still have to dump in the coal and the food or whatever you're trying to smelt into the furnaces manually and take them out, but I think it looks like a pretty good building. So, well, I hope you've liked the video. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe to see more of the same. Goodbye!